Hello everybody. If you want to read all the story's content in full, please go to www.steveuk.blog. Thank you. Short Story 675, The Clumsy Chef's Big Night. Upper Beginner. Tom was a tall man with messy brown hair and a big smile. He lived in a small flat in London. Every day he worked in an office typing boring reports. But Tom had a secret dream. He wanted to be a famous chef. He loved cooking Italian food. His friends said his spaghetti was the best in the world, or at least the best they had ever eaten after a few beers. One Friday evening, Tom decided it was time for his big chance. He invited his neighbour, Lisa, to dinner. Lisa was pretty, with curly red hair and a laugh like music. Tom had liked her for months. This is it, he thought. Tonight I will impress her with my cooking skills. She will fall in love with me and my pasta. Tom rushed to the supermarket after work. He bought tomatoes, garlic, onions, and a big packet of spaghetti. He even picked up a bottle of cheap red wine. Perfect, he said to himself. Back home, he put on his lucky apron, the one with dancing tomatoes on it. He chopped the onions fast. Tears ran down his face. Ouch, these onions are fighters, he laughed. The sauce bubbled on the stove. It smelled amazing, garlic and herbs dancing in the air. Tom stirred it with a wooden spoon. Then, disaster. The phone rang. It was his boss, Mr. Grumpy. Tom, where is the report? I need it now. Tom tried to talk and stir at the same time. Splash! The spoon flew from his hand. Red sauce splattered everywhere, on the wall, on the floor, and worst of all, on his white shirt. Oh no! Tom cried. He looked like a tomato had exploded on him. Quick as a cat, he grabbed a clean shirt from the bedroom. But in his hurry, he tripped over the cat, Mr. Whiskers. The cat yowled and ran under the sofa. Tom fell with a thud. Oh, sorry, Mr. Whiskers. This is not going well, he muttered. The doorbell rang. Lisa was here. Tom smoothed his hair, took a deep breath, and opened the door. Hello, Lisa. Come in, he said, trying to sound cool. Lisa smiled. Wow, it smells great in here, Tom, like a real Italian restaurant. Tom led her to the tiny kitchen table. He had set it nicely, candles, flowers in a vase, and 2 glasses for wine. Sit down, dinner is almost ready, he said. He poured the wine with shaking hands. A little drop spilled on the tablecloth. Oops, he said, blushing. Now, the pasta. Tom drained the spaghetti in the sink. Steam rose like a cloud, but the colander was old and full of holes. Water poured out too fast. Hot pasta slipped through the holes and landed on his foot. Ah! Tom jumped. He hopped on one leg, waving his arms like a crazy bird. Lisa burst out laughing. Tom, are you okay? That looked painful. I'm fine, really, Tom said, his face redder than the sauce. He served the pasta anyway. It was a bit wet, but who cares? They sat down to eat. The first bite was good. This is delicious, Lisa said. Tom beamed. Success! But then the garlic bread. Tom had forgotten it in the oven. Smoke. He ran to the kitchen. Just a minute, he shouted. He pulled out the tray, black as coal. The smoke alarm screamed like a siren. Beep, beep, beep! Tom waved a tea towel at it. Shh! Quiet, you noisy thing! Lisa coughed and laughed. Tom, is this part of the show? Tom turned. In his panic, he had knocked over the wine bottle. Red wine flowed across the table like a river. It soaked the pasta, the bread, and Lisa's dress. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. Tom grabbed napkins. He dabbed at her dress, then stopped. Maybe I should not touch that. Lisa looked down at the mess. For a second, Tom thought she would cry or run away, but then she threw back her head and laughed. A big, happy laugh. Tom, this is the funniest dinner I've ever had. Who needs perfect pasta when you have a show like this? Tom stared. Then he started to laugh too. They laughed until their sides hurt. The smoke alarm finally stopped. Mr. Whiskers peeked out from under the sofa, curious. Tom and Lisa cleaned up the mess together. They ordered pizza from the shop down the street. It arrived hot and cheesy. As they ate slices on the sofa, Lisa said, "You know, Tom, I like clumsy people. Real people, not perfect chefs from TV." Tom smiled. "Really? Even if I burn the house down next time?" Lisa winked. "Especially then." That night Tom walked Lisa to her door. "Good night," he said, "and thank you for not running away." She kissed his cheek. "Good night, clumsy chef. Let's do it again, but maybe with less fire next time." Tom went to bed with a grin. His big night was not perfect, but it was perfect for him. And now he had a second date with pizza. Vocabulary notes. Splattered. Definition: to scatter or splash small drops of liquid or soft substance suddenly and messily onto a surface. Example: red sauce splattered everywhere, on the wall, on the floor, and worst of all, on his white shirt. Similar words. Spattered. Similar to splattered, but often used for smaller drops, like rain spattered on a window. Splashed. A bigger, more forceful action, like water splashed from a puddle. Dripped. Slower and more controlled, like sauce dripped from a spoon. Tripped. Definition: to catch your foot on something and fall or almost fall while walking. Example: but in his hurry, he tripped over the cat, Mr. Whiskers. Similar words. Stumbled. To walk unsteadily and nearly fall, often because you're tired or in a rush. Slipped. To slide suddenly on a smooth or wet surface, leading to a fall. Tumbled. To fall in a clumsy, rolling way, like tumbling downstairs. Beamed. Definition: to smile very widely and happily, often showing pride or joy. Example: "This is delicious," Lisa said. Tom beamed. Similar words. Grinned. A broad, often cheeky smile that shows teeth. Smiled. A general happy expression with the mouth, but less intense than beaming. Glowed. To look radiant with happiness, like your face glowed after good news. Dabbed. Definition: to touch something lightly with a soft material to clean or dry it without rubbing hard. Example: "Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry." Tom grabbed napkins. He dabbed at her dress, then stopped. Similar words. Patted. A gentle tap with a flat hand or cloth, often to comfort or clean lightly. Wiped. To clean by rubbing in a straight line, stronger than dabbing. Blotted. To soak up liquid quickly with something absorbent, like blotting ink. Winked. Definition: to quickly close one eye as a signal of friendship, fun, or a secret joke. Example: "Tom, this is the funniest dinner I have ever had." Lisa winked, especially then. Similar words. Blinked. To close and open both eyes quickly, often without meaning, like blinking in bright light. Nudged. A gentle push with your elbow to get attention, similar in playful intent. Teased. To make a light-hearted joke, often with a wink to show it's not serious. Story written by Grok 4 Fast AI. Image created by Grok 4 Fast AI. To read all the story's content in full, please go to www.steveuk.blog. Thank you. CC Music, drifting at 432 Hz, Unicorn Heads.
Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're looking at something, well, seemingly straightforward. A short story called The Clumsy Chef's Big Night.
Right, but it's not just a quick read for us.
No, definitely not. We're going to use it almost like a forensic evidence. We want to analyze how the author uses specific words, especially action verbs and sensory details to, build this character and create this escalating comedic chaos.
Exactly. It's all about the linguistic choices. And our main guy here is Tom. Picture this. Tall dude, messy brown hair, stuck in a pretty soul-crushing office job, typing reports all day.
Ugh, sounds familiar.
Yeah, but he's got this secret ambition, a big one. He dreams of being a famous Italian chef. Apparently, his friends think his spaghetti's amazing.
Especially after a few beers, the story mentions. Always helps.
True. But yeah, he genuinely thinks he's got talent.
So the setup is clear. He's got this mundane reality, but this big culinary dream bubbling underneath.
Yeah.
And then comes the test.
Lisa, his neighbor. Described with curly red hair, a laugh like music. Tom decides this dinner is it, his big chance.
He's putting a lot of pressure on this meal. He wants to impress her, make her fall in love with him and his pasta. High stakes for spaghetti night.
Totally. So he goes all out. Well, within his means. He rushes to the supermarket, gets the tomatoes, garlic, onions, spaghetti.
And importantly, that bottle of cheap red wine. Can't forget that.
Never. And he even puts on his lucky apron, the one with the dancing tomatoes, trying to get in the zone.
He's really committing to the chef persona here.
Oh, yeah. The effort's there initially. He's chopping onions like a pro so fast he's crying, joking they're fighters.
And the first signs are good, right? The sauce smells amazing, garlic and herbs dancing in the air. It seems like maybe, just maybe, he can pull this off.
It's that perfect moment of hope before, well, everything goes wrong.
And the trigger isn't even a cooking mistake at first. It's real life intruding. The phone rings.
The worst timing. It's his boss, Mr. Grumpy, needs that report now.
Classic. The clash between his dream world and his actual responsibilities.
And this is where the first real disaster strikes. He's trying to juggle the phone call, be professional and stir the sauce at the same time. Recipe for failure.
And the wooden spoon just flies out of his hand.
Yep. And the sauce, it doesn't just spill. The story uses a very specific word. It's splattered.
Okay. Let's hold on to that word, splattered. So where did it go?
Everywhere. The wall, the floor, and the absolute worst part, all over his clean white shirt, instantly looked like a tomato had exploded on him.
Wow. Okay. That word splattered really paints a picture of a sudden, messy violence. It's not a gentle spill.
Not at all. It's explosive, and the chaos just snowballs from there. He needs a clean shirt, obviously. Rushes off.
And cue the next mishap.
He tripped. Over the cat, Mr. Whiskers.
Oh no, poor Mr. Whiskers.
A cat yowls, shoots under the sofa. Tom hits the floor hard with a thud. So now he's covered in sauce, flat on his back, and probably apologizing to a traumatized cat.
What a start. And Lisa is presumably about to arrive any second?
Exactly. So he scrambles up, tries to smooth his hair, maybe wipe off a bit of sauce, opens the door, trying to play it cool.
And Lisa walks in. What's her first reaction? Does she notice the abstract tomato art?
Amazingly, no. Or at least she doesn't mention it. She just says, wow, it smells great in here, Tom, like a real Italian restaurant.
Oh, the irony. She's smelling the dream, completely unaware of the disastrous reality unfolding around her.
Precisely. That contrast is where a lot of the humor comes from. He tries to recover, sets the table nicely, candles, flowers, the whole bit, trying to regain control.
But the universe isn't done with him yet, is it?
Not even close. He goes to pour the wine. His hands are shaking, probably from the fall and the stress, and just a little drop spilled on the nice tablecloth.
Okay, so spilled this time. A smaller failure, but it's part of a pattern now, isn't it? The entropy is building.
It really is, like a sequence of unfortunate events. And then comes the main course. The spaghetti. Time to drain it.
Uh-oh. I have a bad feeling about this. The colander, maybe?
You got it. The story mentions the colander was old, full of holes. Not ideal for containing hot, slippery pasta.
So he pours it in
And hot spaghetti starts slipping right through those holes. Lands right on his foot.
Ouch. Barefoot!
We assume so. For maximum comedic effect, the reaction is pure slapstick. He jumps, yells, "Arg!" starts hopping on one leg.
Waving his arm.
Described as waving his arms like a crazy bird. It's full physical comedy now.
And Lisa, is she horrified, concerned?
She just bursts out laughing. She finds the whole spectacle hilarious. Not meanly, it seems, but genuinely amused.
Okay, that's interesting. Her reaction is key. So maybe the disaster isn't a total disaster.
Well, there's a brief moment of hope. He actually manages to serve the pasta, maybe slightly wet, maybe slightly floor seasoned, who knows?
And Lisa tries it.
And declares it delicious. And Tom just beamed, that's the word used, a moment of pure, unadulterated pride amidst the wreckage.
Beamed. Another great word. Like a little ray of sunshine. But I feel like there's one more shoe to drop. Something forgotten.
Oh, yes. The garlic bread. Still in the oven.
Oh, no.
He pulls it out, and it is black as coal, completely incinerated.
And then the smoke alarm goes off.
Immediately. Starts screaming like a siren. Beep, beep, beep. The soundscape just adds to the chaos.
So it's gone from visual mess to auditory assault. What does Tom do?
He does what anyone in a panic might do, grabs a tea towel and starts waving it frantically at the smoke alarm.
Trying to silence the siren.
And in doing so, he knocks over the bottle of red wine.
No. The cheap red wine.
The very same. It flows across the table like a river, soaking everything, the food, the tablecloth.
And Lisa's dress. Please don't say Lisa's dress.
Lisa's dress. Total, complete, utter failure on all fronts. The performance is officially dead.
He must have been mortified. What does he do?
Instinct takes over. He grabs napkins, tries to dab at her dress, gently, uselessly, trying to fix the unfixable.
Okay, that's another interesting verb choice there. So gentle in the face of such a massive mess.
Exactly. It shows his panic, his apology, but also his helplessness. The whole sequence is just chef's kiss disaster artistry.
Yeah.
He aimed for perfect chef, landed on peak clumsy comedian.
Right. So now that we've relived the trauma, let's pivot. Let's actually dig into the language like we planned. Part 3, the linguistic analysis. Why does this series of failures stick in the mind? It has to be those specific verb choices, right?
Absolutely. They're doing so much heavy lifting. Let's go back to the first big one, the sauce splattered. We touched on it, but why splattered and not just say spilled or dripped?
Well, like I said, spilled feels more passive, maybe slower, just gravity doing its thing. Dripped is even gentler. Splattered feels sudden, forceful, uncontrolled. It implies impact.
Exactly. The dictionary definition is something like scattering messy material irregularly. It's inherently chaotic. Spilled is just liquid escaping. Splattered gives the sauce agency almost. It attacks the kitchen.
Yeah, it makes the mess feel more active, more aggressive. It raises the stakes immediately. Okay, what about the next major action? He tripped over the cat.
Right. Tripped. Catching your foot on an obstacle. What were the other options we thought about? Stumbled.
Tumbled.
Yeah, stumbled feels more like losing your own balance, maybe an internal clumsiness. Tumbled sounds more, I don't know, like a rolling, messy fall. Maybe downstairs.
Good distinction. Tripped specifically points to the external factor, Mr. Whiskers, the cat, as the direct cause. It makes it feel less like Tom is inherently clumsy, though maybe he is, and more like the environment itself is actively working against him. It objectifies the failure a bit.
That makes sense. It's funnier if it feels like he's battling external forces. Okay, moving to the emotional beat. When Lisa liked the pasta, Tom beamed.
Beamed. I love that word here. It's not just smiled. It's not even grinned, which can sometimes feel a bit, cheeky or mischievous.
Right. Beamed feels like light shining from within, pure, unfiltered happiness and pride.
Exactly. It suggests this intense, radiant joy. Considering he's probably still got sauce on him and his foot hurts, that compliment must have meant everything. It cut through the chaos for a second. A real validation of that secret chef dream. Okay, let's broaden out from just the verbs. What about some of the descriptions, the sensory details? The garlic bread wasn't just burnt.
No, it was black as coal. That simile is so specific. It gives you an instant visual, utter carbonization. No saving that.
And the smoke alarm didn't just ring.
It screamed like a siren. Again, a simile that ramps up the intensity. It's not just noise. It's auditory panic, emergency. It contrasts so sharply with the earlier description of Lisa's laugh being like music.
Good point. And the wine flowing like a river. It elevates a simple spill to something almost epic, biblical even.
Yeah, it magnifies the scale of the disaster through imagery. It's not just a puddle, it's a flood.
And back to a verb for the final act of failure. Tom dabbed at Lisa's dress. Why is dab so effective there?
Because it's so gentle and so futile against the river of wine. Dabbing is about light touches, trying not to make it worse. If he'd wiped it or rubbed it...
You would have just ground the stain in, made it worse.
Right, so dabbing captures his panic, his desire to fix it, his apology, and the utter hopelessness of the situation all in one small, delicate action. It's perfect.
And then the very last significant action, really signaling the emotional resolution, Lisa winked.
Ah, the wink. Crucial. It's not a blink, which is involuntary. It's not a nudge. It's a deliberate, conscious signal.
What does it signal, do you think?
Shared understanding, playfulness, secrecy, almost. It says, I get it. It was a mess, but it was fun, and this is our little secret now.
If she'd just smiled, you might wonder if she was just being nice.
But the wink seals it. She's genuinely okay with it. More than okay. She enjoyed the absurdity. It's an invitation, isn't it, to continue the connection?
Absolutely. It confirms the disaster was actually a social success.
Okay, this deep dive into the words really shows how much meaning can be packed into a single verb or a specific description. It shapes how we feel the scene. So let's bring it all home. Part 4, the perfection of the imperfect.
Right. Tom bracing for the worst, expecting tears or anger. But Lisa just throws her head back and laughs, calls it the funniest dinner ever. And that line is key. Who needs perfect pasta when you have a show like this?
She reframes the entire evening. The failure was the success. The chaos, described with all those vivid words like splattered and tripped, was the entertainment.
It wasn't the meal he planned, but maybe it was the experience she and maybe he actually needed.
Seems like it. They ditch the ruined dinner, clean up together, which is also a nice bonding moment, and order pizza. Hot, cheesy pizza on the sofa.
Much less stressful.
And Lisa delivers the final verdict, the moral of the story, really. I like clumsy people, real people, not perfect chefs from TV.
Oof. That hits home. She valued the authenticity of the mess over some idealized, probably unattainable perfection.
Exactly. The real Tom, the one who trips and splatters and burns things, was more appealing than the famous Italian chef persona he was trying so hard to project.
So he gets the girl, or at least the second date.
Yep. Goes to bed grinning. She even gives him a nickname, Clumsy Chef. And that wink seals the deal for the future. Maybe with less fire next time.
It wasn't the perfect night he envisioned.
But it was perfect for him, as the story says, because it was real.
So we've tracked him from this hidden dream of being the famous chef to the accepted, even celebrated reality of the clumsy chef.
And the language was the key to making that journey feel earned and resonant. Those precise, energetic verbs, splattered, tripped, beamed, dabbed, they weren't just describing actions, they were revealing character and building connection through shared humorous disaster.
So for you listening, what's the takeaway? Well, partly it's about appreciating the craft and storytelling, how choosing just the right word can completely change the impact of a scene. Precision matters.
But maybe there's something deeper too, right? The story seems to argue that authenticity, even messy, chaotic authenticity, is more valuable than curated perfection.
It makes you think, doesn't it? How often do we try to hide our own clumsy chef moments? We edit out the spills, the trips, the burnt garlic bread of our lives.
Yeah. We aim for the smooth, controlled drip when maybe, just maybe, the connections we're seeking are actually found in the honest, relatable, sometimes hilarious splatter. Perhaps embracing our own imperfections is the real recipe for connection.